Hello, everyone. This is a casual update podcast because I know most people kind of don't look at the community tab. So, here's a video. At the time of recording, I am doing a little bit better than I was before. However, I'm not gonna lie, 2021 has been a mess for me. It has been a mess for a lot of people, actually. I've been noticing a lot of other Fagan creators are dealing with their own stuff, and yeah, it kind of seems like 2021 has kind of been a bit of a shit show for most people. I can't really speak for others, but for me personally, I've been going through a lot of random physical health problems that ended up, sabotaging my plans that I had laid out for 2021, but that's okay, I guess. uh, but as I mentioned in my community post, I have been taking time off just to take care of my own health. I don't want to keep repeating the same problems that I did in the past where I kind of just ignored my health because the, how do I put it? I'm so addicted to being productive that sometimes I mess up my own health. And it is like a problem that I need to fix. And it's also honestly a problem that a lot of other people need to fix too. Again, can't really speak for other people, but for me, I've definitely noticed being like kind of productive seems to be like a source of dopamine for me. And, it really shouldn't be my only source of dopamine because if I don't feel productive, I just crumble in my own head and it's like, it's not healthy. I gotta stop doing that. I have to find something else to give me dopamine. Uh, and, during my time of like, taking care of my health, I have been finding other sources of dopamine for me. Still, as of right now, nothing really beats the feeling of being productive, but at least I kind of have something else to kind of fall back on if I am just focusing on, taking care of my own health. I can also try to enjoy something else that doesn't feel emotionally or physically, uh, what's the word, burden? I don't know what word. It just doesn't tax on my health or whatever. Anyways, I didn't want to make this video to like vent about my own health, but I did in a way wanted to talk about what's been happening. If that makes any sense. It's kind of nice to be able to speak about what happened to you. Basically, a quick rundown of the more, I guess, kind of minor health problems. In January, I got into an injury where both my knees were just extremely sore and injured. Something work related, not going to go into detail. But that ended up causing like the hurricane of problems because then in early February, a customer dropped a very heavy cabinet on my knee that was recovering. So then I had to spend more time taking care of my knees. And then in March, uh, actually in February, I also kind of like had like a teeth problem, but in March 9th, that's the big medical emergency that I had. I'm not going to go into details, but I guess I will put a trigger warning of mentioning of blood and bleeding. If you don't like that, skip to whatever time I put on the screen. I'll give you like a few seconds just in case if you are like only listening to the podcast and not really watching the video. Okay, you have been warned. On my Danganronpa account, I didn't really go into big details about it because I realized that if I did, I could have caused a major panic because of this, circumstance. But basically, what happened was I had a sudden nosebleed that ended up lasting for an entire hour, and it was a heavy flow nosebleed, and I had like a lot of blood just pouring out of my body. Um, Let's just say, like, you know how in horror movies there's like a sink and it's filled with blood? My bathroom ended up looking like that. Let's just go with that. And yeah, it turns out I lost so much blood that my body went into like an kind of a physical shock where I became anemic from the mass loss of blood. Now, at the time of recording, the only reason why I'm explaining some of the details now is because I know I'm going to be okay for that for sure. When I first initially posted about, oh, I think I'm on the right path, I actually wasn't really that sure because um, I didn't really know that I became anemic at that point. I was just going through some random shock and I was really confused, but I was at least able to control my impulses of like not posting what had happened to me in details on my Fangin account, but on my personal account I did talk about the details. I was actually on Twitter, like my phone was nearby, a little bit covered in blood, and just be like, what the fuck is happening to me? So yeah, there was that, but other than that, yeah, so you don't have to worry. I am on the right track. It's just that my body still kind of is like, still kind of bit anemic, and I've been trying to eat like a lot of iron to try to like combat that, and I've just been more careful with my health. But yeah, I um I don't want to lose any more blood this year. It's too much. That was too much blood. Uh, but yeah. Unfortunately, after the medical emergency, I have been going through more problems, but right now the problems, at least at work, are more or less kind of how do I put it? My manager, my boss, hired a new person who is an absolute dick towards me, and like I did talk to my managers about this so they know about it, but it's one of those things where like my managers just like, I'm not trying to say that he deserves to be fired or anything like that. I'm not really that type of person, but like I know for a fact that if he continued doing the same shit, they may not fire him because of how much they refuse to fire people unless if they steal money from the store. Oh, and uh, also, someone got killed outside of our store too. Uh, no one that we knew, but there's just like a whole lot of like anxiety at my workplace in general. Uh, and like, I don't mean to sound too casual or heartless about that. Obviously, it's a really terrible situation. But I don't know how to explain this without it like sounding concerning, but like I think it's just how I grew up. There was uh let me paint a picture for you. When I first entered high school, one of the biggest dramas in our high school wasn't like, oh, so and so cheated on someone, or oh, there was a big fight. Three kids fucking murdered a person. That was like the big drama in freshman year of high school. And I literally grew up thinking that, oh, I guess this is the normal high school experience. And it took me until college to realize how abnormal it is to have that many students eager to murder or attempted murder, which my neighbor attempted to stab somebody for reasons I don't understand. This one is somehow even scarier, but I knew a girl who I never liked, and I didn't like her for good reasons, and it turns out that she was trying. She failed. Thank fuck she failed, but she was actually trying to be a school shooter. And she got caught and was expelled. that was my high school experience. Welcome to America. This place is a shit show. uh, so, like, for me, like, because that was my high school experience, people dying is like, I should react with surprise, shock, and like sadness, but like, it's a little bit normalized from my experience, which is admittedly shitty, but yeah, so in general, there's just like a lot of anxiety in this town. Uh, yeah. Now, I didn't actually open up about, how some people, mostly people my high school though, like minors, are a little bit too happy to murder. Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain that. And there has been like other stuff. Oh God. If I were to talk about every terrible thing that happened during my high school experience, we'll be here all day, so I'm not going to go into that. But in general, like, I didn't open up that dialogue for you to worry about my safety. I'm pretty sure that I'm smart enough not to get myself in a bad situation. Um, like, I work in a place where, admittedly, outside of the store, there's some problematic people that like to hang out over there. But in general, you know, I, I know how to be a bit safe. I've experienced a lot of things, most of which most people online don't know. Because despite how sometimes people think I overshare, there's actually a lot of stuff about me that no one really knows because I don't talk about it. But I think I'll be like, okay. But like, it's just kind of like to paint a picture. People really live in different worlds, and you don't really realize how different people live until you actually hear their experiences. It was always kind of interesting in college, actually, where I open about the shit that happened to me. Not happened to me, but what happened in high school. And yeah, it was interesting to see people shocked and like, that's not a normal American experience. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's not like normal. What do you mean students aren't murder happy in your school? Oh God. Yeah, no, it's a little bit cringe that I even thought that like this shit was normal. God, it's embarrassing, but yeah, yeah. Anyways, let's just change the topic to something less worrisome. Let's see. Um, well, I guess I could talk about some uh updates, what I plan to do in the future, and maybe talk about things that people may want clarification on. You know, something to lighten the mood. I'm sorry, I kind of ruined the mood with my horrible high school experience. Yeah, like, I'll just be honest. Like, if someone asks me, oh, explain your past to me, and I'm like, how many trigger warnings you need? like, like, mm. All right, so the very first update I want to talk about is the change of the upload schedule. In the past, I made an upload schedule that, in hindsight, was very stupid of me. I take full accountability for my own dumbassness. That I made a schedule that disregarded my health, and while a lot of people praised me for it, ultimately it was very dumb of me to think that it was a good idea. Basically, what the chart said was that I was planning on trying to upload a daily life episode once a week, and when the trials are around, the upload schedule would be like once a month, a trial episode would be uploaded. And at first, I was like really like, you know, it was working out really well. The fast upload schedule was something that a lot of people liked, and you know, like I was keeping up with it for several months, but then eventually you may have noticed it crumbled. And that's because, as I said before, I mentioned that well, it's not even in the past, it's just something that I'm trying to fix is that I had a bad habit of being too addicted to productivity that I disregard my own health, Well, that chart was basically a prime example of what I was talking about. I really fucked over my health a lot of times because I would just, like dealing with my health problems didn't feel productive, so I would just eat it to the side until I started crumbling. And I kind of went on kind of a hiatus, not really a hiatus because I was uploading stuff. It's just that, people really want to see Danganronpa Rejected Zero, and a lot of people are like, when's the next episode? When's the next episode? When's the next episode? And it's just like, oh boy, I am a failure because I cannot fucking produce the next episode as quickly as I promised. But ultimately, yeah, like that upload schedule that I made for myself, that was a bad idea because I fucked over my own health because of it, and that's my bad. So the new upload schedule is something simple, although I know that people are not going to like it because I know some people were honestly with the way how they comment, it kind of sounded like they really just like the fact that I uploaded fast. But my new upload schedule is that when it's done, I'll upload it, and that's it. There is no time frame of when I'm gonna get it done. It's just eventually I'll get it done, and then it'll be uploaded, and that's it. It's easier for my health that way. I hope everyone can understand that. I guess the next update is really more of a clarification. As people know, I did end up getting voice actors, and as I stated multiple times, it is now, how do I put this? Danganronpa Rejected Zero will now be partly voice act. It's not going to be fully voice act. And I don't plan on changing that. And also, the voice actors will be formally introduced in the beginning of Chapter 2. I decided for uh, chapter 1, episode 31, which is like the last episode of Chapter 1. That one will not feature voice actors simply because I just, I kind of want the voice actors to be introduced very cleanly after chapter 1 has ended. I think that'd be like a nice clean transition. Um so there is also that. Um yeah. So that's the clarification. Another update that just popped in my head. I am also planning on deleting or privating the Q&A videos and basically make a new one because I feel like the whole point of a Q&A and an FAQ type of video is that the answers are supposed to reflect what is current and up to date. And if the answers are no longer reflecting what is current, then it's just dead information, if that makes any sense. So I am going to remove those videos, or at least unlist them or private them, mainly because a lot of the answers are actually no longer up to date. So I am in the future planning on making a video where I just give you the updated answers so that no misinformation is spread just because certain information is dead, if that makes any sense. Other than that, I can't really think of what else people want to hear me update them on. It's just that, my health is improving, but I did go through some shit. The upload schedule is changing. Just some clarification on voice actors and also update on like, the Q&As and stuff. So, I'm not really sure what else I would update people on, but it's my usual podcast ramble update videos where I am completely unscripted, and that should be very easy to tell based off of how unscripted I sound. And um yeah, the awkward ums and pauses. Uh yeah. Well, if not really sure how many people will click on this video, since even though I did mention that, most people don't read the community tab, so I'll just make a video. But to be honest, most people don't really like my podcast videos because it's just like not the content they want, which I understand. But for those who just want to see a video from me, because I know my channel looks slightly dead, uh, yeah, here's an update video. Don't worry, I'm alive on the outside. uh, I'm alive. I'm alive. No worries. Um, I'm just, trying to survive. That's it. Well, now I hope all of you have a really great day, and I hope 2021 has been much nicer to you than it has been to me. But like, I know that all of us are kind of like, how do I put this? I feel like we're all kind of falling apart. It seems like, I think it's like, the pandemic is really like fucking everybody. This is just such a weird point in history we're all going through right now. And I do admit, I do feel like the pandemic is affecting me. I feel like it's affecting everybody, but I feel like, I know in the beginning, I was kind of a little bit defensive, thinking, like, oh no, like, I'm not gonna let this affect me. Like, I don't want that. But in reality, I do think it did actually affect me a lot more than I want to admit. But, like, life be like that sometimes. Anyways, yeah, I do hope y'all having, like, a good day, and peace out, I guess.